Previously on X-Men.
Trying to keep it as classic comic book as possible. A little bit of speculative work on the pistols, things like that, but just pure classic. That was the plan. Not a lot that you wouldn't expect, but just that she's a character. She needed to do it again. People love her.
All right, here she is, the brand new premium format figure from Sideshow, the Mystique statue. And let me just say, I was so excited to see this piece. I really wanted to be in love with this piece when I saw her. But, man, the problems with this piece are something else. So, just right off the bat, the biggest issue with this statue is the paint application, the QC. They totally fell flat with that. I honestly think that a kid with an aerosol can could have done a better job painting this thing. I mean, it is not good. If somebody gave this to me as a gift, I would probably give it right back. I mean, it's not. They just did a really bad job on it, and I'm gonna go into that now. It's not all bad, you know. There's a lot of things that I do love about this statue. You know, right off the bat, the biggest thing about this piece that's probably the selling point of it is the only Mystique statue to actually show off her abilities, her changing into another character. And I think that is fantastic. That was a great job to even think about that. You know, that was a good idea to put it into the statue. Another real cool thing about this piece is the Easter egg of the seal, the Xavier School for the Gifted, and then you have that fist punching through it, so ties into the Juggernaut that we're still waiting for. But, it's going to be a tie-in. So I think that's a cool thing, too. And I like her pose. I think she's posed really well. But that's about where it stops for me. Everything else about this piece has got some issues. So right now, she's competing up against the previous Comic Cat statue, a Mystique, that I feel is hands down one of the best Mystique statues I've ever seen in my life. She's standing on a bed of skulls. She's posed very sexual. I love it. And, that's mainly what they're going up against. And then they also have the XM Studios that's yet to drop, which also looks really good. So, if you guys are into Mystique and you got to have a Mystique statue, I would hold out and get the XM Studios statue. I would not pick up this piece. So that's where I'm going to start this review off. And then we're going to move into everything else. So, I hope you guys stick with me and find out what it is about the statue I don't like. All right, here's how it comes in the box. So let's see what we got. Start out with the base. That is a dope looking base. I do like that. Check that out. So you got the Xavier School for the Gifted Youngsters. I like how it's got that fist imprint there. Juggernaut. What the lower part of the base looks like. Yeah, the base doesn't look bad at all, actually. I like it. It's also got a lot of nice weight to it. All right, there's that portrait. Yeah. I dig the portrait, she looked cute. There were a lot of complaints when they first got designed that she had manly features. I don't see it. I think it looks good. All right. All right. Here's one of the hands with the gun. not bad. The line work's kind of sloppy. Right there in the hand and everything, and I'll take up some close-up pictures there. You can see how it looks a little sloppy. All right. There's the other hand. Same with that. Oh, get you in focus there. Same like with the other hand, kind of sloppy line work. And like some cracking there in the paint there. No bueno. So far, okay, I guess. Not really feeling some of those paint issues I'm looking at. Ooh, that's sharp. Okay, so here's the X23 hand. Same thing, kind of shoddy paint work. You can see where the gray on the claws gets onto the skin there. And yeah, I guess the whole hand is metal maybe, but it doesn't seem right. It's like almost like they painted it that way. But man, those claws are sharp, real pointy. I'm gonna use them as toothpicks. Here's one of the, I guess the sash or something that goes on there. Yeah, it's kind of crappy. I don't think the camera's picking it up, but I mean, you can see like little spots there. Almost like there was dirt that got underneath the paint. Yeah. Right, so last thing is the body. Take the body out. Alright, so I'm guessing that part goes right there in the nana area. Yeah. A lot of bleeding in the paint on this one. Like you can see where the bleeding happens up in here. Almost here on where the blue goes into the white. And that don't look good. Almost like flat. You know, you should be able to see down into the rest. They should have maybe colored that dark or something. Yeah, more bad paintwork there. More right here. Oh boy. All right, so there she is, all put together. Yeah. Gonna have to take some pictures of this one to show you guys what I'm looking at here. What the? Right off the bat, the base is really cool, like I stated before, something that I think draws a lot of attention to it. You got the Xavier School of Youngsters. It sets the scene, tells a story. Love that when they do that with the statue. And most of all, it doesn't take up a lot of space. So this is something that could very easily be put into like a Detolf, a Besta, you know, doesn't need a lot of space at all. So you got roughly, 10 inches on the base, maybe even less, like 9 inches. I think when you have the guns extended, that'll give you a little bit more. So you got maybe like 12 to 13 inches of space is what you're going to need width-wise. Depth is 9 to 10 inches. And then in the height, she's roughly 19 inches, 18 and a half inches. So she's not a very big statue. Very easily displayed, right? So I like that. Love that. I like the texture work they did with that. I love the color application that they did here on the base. Think everything about the base is done great. Then you move up into her. Sculpt-wise, she's perfect. I like the sculpt. I like the way she's posed. She has the whole sassy walk going on about her. I really dig that, especially when you have her with the guns. I really dig that. So this is the way she looks with the collector's version, which I like, you know. To me, this is really cool to have the exclusive if you're going to have the exclusive, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have the exclusive. So she kind of wobbles a little bit, so that kind of sucks, you know, but it's not make or break. It's not the worst thing in the world. I don't think she's going to tip over or anything like that, so there's nothing to worry about. There's a long peg that goes into the base, and then there's actually a little slot in the front toe and in the back of the other toe. So she's kind of held in there very well. I like the folds that they did on the boots. I think that looks really good, especially back here in the ankle area. You know, I think that's done very nicely up into the thighs. Really nice. You know, I love the way her outfit kind of just flows. Gives a nice dynamic appeal. So I love that. Really cool. All right. Then you move into the belt. The belt has a very iconic look to her classic style appearance of Mystique. So that's cool as well. And, you know, the portrait I think looks, in my opinion, awesome. I think she looks beautiful. She has a real nice smirk going on about her. I like the way the hair flow is. I would prefer a longer hair, you know, because then you could get more flow to it and it would look even sexier to me. But I think still this looks very, very sexy. I think it looks really well, really good. Love the paint that they did here on the lips. I think the portrait's done excellent. So they did really nice work there. And then even the skull, little I guess, it's not really a tiara. It's more just like a headpiece. You know, that's a little callback to her look in the comics. So I think that's cool. All right. So the guns, they're all right. They don't look like real. They look more like toys, you know, than they do like real guns. So, you know, they're just okay. I'm not gonna say that they're anything great to look at. I've seen better detailed guns as far as paint goes. All right. Now, paint. Let's get on to that. That's the first and biggest issue I have with the statue. So the paint is really, really bad. I mean, it looks like they took and they painted it outside in a massive windstorm. So, I mean, it blows me away. You can see things like little specks of dirt that looks like they painted over it, which is horrible, you know. And then there's even areas, like especially around here where the hand meets the gun, that it looks like the paint is already cracking on it. So you could tell that right away this is probably not going to last too long as far as paint goes. Now, there's a lot of bleeding areas, especially where the blue meets the white. I mean, a ton of it. I mean, it's all over the place. There's bleeding up here where the sash goes around her waist. There's bleeding in where the boot meets the blue skin. Same thing all the way around here. There's bleeding in the hands. There's bleeding up here. I mean, there's bleeding everywhere. And I think that sucks. You know, especially when you're calling this a premium collectible. We're paying $560 for this collectible, plus shipping. So you're right around $600 for this piece, and the quality of work that you're getting back because of the paint is ruining what you sculpted here. So it's just, that's real. That's really what you're seeing here. So the optional hand I think is really neat, but I don't know, it really feels like it could be metal, but then there I see areas where the paint, it looks like it's coming right off, or there's, you know, something on it that is, I really can't explain what it is. Almost like maybe like glue. But if it's real metal, then you shouldn't have painted. It shouldn't be painted on there, right? That's what I think. But still, there's areas here where you see like it like bleed into the skin. So it could be painted. It just, I don't know. But it's done very, very poorly. You know, nothing like the Wolverine statue. I felt like the Wolverine was done so much better than this thing. So there's, again, more bleeding here. So the black is going into the skin. And there's even areas here on the skin where it's like gray, like almost like the paint sprayed over, a lot of overspray. So there's that. And that also happens here in the arms It's not really like white. It almost has like an overspray going on it, which looks really bad. So I think that kind of sucks. So what else? So other issues that I have with it is the way that the arms go into place. So this arm fits in pretty nicely, but the area around where the gloves, I guess you're going to put this, you call this, because it goes all the way up, the gloves, it looks like the clay or the sculpt chipped, and then they didn't bother fixing it, or they tried to fix it a little bit with some like touch up, but then there's like this area where you can see like where the paint kind of rubbed. It doesn't like match the actual texturing and paint that went along the rest of this glove. So it's kind of just like ultra white right there. Like it's like somebody put white out on it, you know? That's what that looks like to me. And it just looks like it's chipped. So when you put it into place here, you know, you can see that. And it looks bad. You know, you can see the seam on the arm. You know, that's not good. And then when you put in the other arm, which that one's done a little bit better, but it does have the same type of chipping up there. This one doesn't even go in all the way too well, and then it wiggles, you know? So again, I mean, that's bad. It's not something that you give to people that are paying this much money for the piece. And it's disappointing. Areas like here where the gold meets up in the black is bleeding into the gold, and the gold is bleeding into the black. It just looks very sloppy. So the paint it was really bad, and then you know you have some assembly issues here with the way these things fit into place, which you know that bites. So that's really overall my issues with the statue. Other than that, I feel that the sculpt itself I think is good, and I think that the concept behind it was done very well. I just think that everything else is pretty bad. Another area that I wanted to mention too is right here in the breast where the shirt meets up, and if you saw the unboxing I did, it doesn't look like the breasts are going into the shirt. It almost looks like the shirt is sculpted in between the breast. So there's like this big blotch of white right in the middle of the breast, which that don't look natural or real. So I don't like that. I mean, you're not going to see it going up on it, but it's there. So, you know, if you guys are want to be aware of it, just letting you know. So yeah, I mean, you know, when I do reviews, I put our links down on the bottom to suggest if you guys are interested in buying this piece to go ahead and pick it up. But I'm not even going to do that for this piece, is because I really don't suggest that you pick this thing up. I would wait. If they drop the price, give you like a sale or something like that, $300 for this piece. Yeah, I can deal with what you're giving me right here. But $600, after this thing, this shipped, nah. I'm sorry. It's not quality like that. So that's my thoughts. All right, and that's it for the Mystique Premium Format figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. Ding that bell to become part of the notification squad. You can catch all of our videos at mcecentral.com. I'm going to be coming back at you with more statue reviews just like this, so stay tuned for all of that. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.